What's up? What's up? Hello, everyone. Super excited to have you guys here. Today, we're going to some kind of like special session. I think it's the second one that we're doing. So we will actually live code something cool like in live stream. And it's super excited because this is like something that we are doing, into workshops. We're like, publishing a lot of content. But we started to say why we're actually not doing like, hopefully the demo god are with us, doing something like kind of like a live in front of everybody, and you guys can also follow. We'll publish also like specific links that you can actually like follow us in the same time. But I would say, sorry to interrupt, let's get quick round of intro before we're just getting started here. Alejandro, you want to start?
Hello, this is Alejandro. I'm a software engineer right now as a DevRel engineer at Consensys. We've been working a lot creating sample apps and a CLI that you could also use to get this project done. So yeah, popcorn to Sushmita.
Hello there. This is Shushmita. I'm also a DevRel engineer focused on Linea currently at Consensys. And yeah, just like Ale, I've been also been building a lot of use case dapps, examples, and contents, and really focusing on dev experiences and how we can make it better. So yeah, super excited to be here. Let's get started.
Yeah, I'm actually very excited, and I think we publish different contents, and a lot of like people gave us like different feedbacks, and I think one of the exciting latest, let's say, Linea DevRel content that we push out was this marketplace, right? And everybody was kind of like hyped, so we kind of like say that let's start to actually build like maybe a more simple like marketplace in front of everybody, but like we learn a lot from the current, like from the first live stream, right? And this time we want to start with like a different format, trying to kind of show you like what is the kind of the output that we'll go through. And I think like Sushmita, we will publish the link of the mirror like tutorial and the GitHub repo, but let's just screen share quickly and say, okay, what you guys will see at the end of this workshop. It will be a simplified version, but that's basically where you can go. And that's one point. So we can show this to everyone listening. And also like what Alejandro mentioned, the CLI. So basically this is kind of like a made in CLI that every hacker in a hackathon, everybody want to start and build something leveraging both SDK deploying on Linea, can literally take it, fork it, and build his own kind of like use case. And we will start with this CLI. Okay, so without further ado, I pass it to you, Shmita. Like, let's see what is kind of the output of this workshop, and actually, let's go through to your both GitHub repo and the mirror, like the workshop page that you wrote.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. I'm gonna go to the GitHub repo that I have. So this is the fully completed version of the marketplace tab. And if we go to the live version, like how it looks, this is how it looks. Anyone can come over here and list an item. And this is deployed on Linea Sepolia chain. And you can just connect your wallet. Let me just try to do that. And yeah. I have listed a bunch of items, and these are a few of the items I'm available to purchase. So it also shows like my own item. Let me just refresh a little bit to see it better. Yeah, these are like my own items and all that, and these are the ones I can purchase. Of course, I cannot purchase my own item, so it won't show because it's owned and all that. And an item can be purchased only once and like shared around. So yeah, this is the what we're gonna build the marketplace where you can list any item and purchase
This is
anything
beautiful.
over here.
It looks to me
And so
like an
yeah,
open bazaar back in the days.
it does. And here's the like mirror content that we pushed like almost around a month ago or a bit more, like explaining like how it's done, like from the process, the architecture, the code, and everything, and like getting we'll provide all the details. So yeah, this is what we have in the what we are
That's
gonna
super exciting.
do.
So in
Yeah.
a nutshell, what are kind of like the main blocks or tooling that we will use during this workshop? Like we
Yeah,
mentioned the
so
CLI. Yeah,
Yeah, so I can quickly show our amazing CLI, and I would really love to, because this has been one of the really good tooling that we've been using. So this might be a little bit biased thought, but I've been using the CLI for all the application I have been building
nice.
like for months. So this
Nice.
CLI is mainly used like Next.js, React, and like you have the options to pick, like, do you want to pick maybe Hardhead? Do you want to pick maybe Foundry? And like your choice of like a package manager and all that, and then you can go from there. So this is the CLI. We'll provide
Mhm.
the links for the CLI. So
Nice.
yeah.
And if anybody need like kind of like testnet tokens for on Linea Sepolia, like shoot always a DM. In general, like we are a hackathon or just around. That's super exciting. Cool, cool, cool. And I think the CLI is also like a very kind of like fast tool, to just build and deploy kind of like, and if anybody has any question, always reach out to us. Okay, sounds good. Anything you want to add before we start?
Um, yeah, so I know that there are a lot of boilerplates, templates out there, but as someone who wants to build things from the scratch, I kind of want a boilerplate that, like, just I have just exact thing there, like not too much, not too little. So the CLI works perfectly for me. Like it has the Next.js configured, maybe React configured with Hardhat or Foundry, and the chain of choice that I want to deploy to, and even the node provider, and also like the it comes with the commit wallet button. So this is a really good experience, and I would love for a community members to try it out and get some feedback.
Yeah, this modularity is so important because you want to also give anybody developing kind of like new way to extend the functionality, right? And I think some people
Totally.
also like created some PR on the CLI during the past days, so I think it's actually quite cool.
That's
Sounds good.
amazing.
Awesome, awesome, awesome.
Let's head over to maybe the code, and let's go over the smart contract, and I would love to go explore that.
Sounds
Let's
good.
head over. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so normally when we install the CLI, it comes with like packages, and inside packages we have the blockchain, and then we have the site. Blockchain part, if you pick Hardhead, it comes with Hardhead integration, and if you pick like Foundry, it will come with Foundry integration. So here we are. I'll go over the blockchain part because I want to deploy my smart contract on Linea Sepolia chain. And we have kind of provided quite some starter code for this session. We'll be providing the links for that. It's the um, workshop starter codes. Um, so let's go over our smart contract first, and maybe from there we can deploy and like compile the contract. So this is just our basic, really simple smart contract. We have our contract marketplace. It's just describing like the structuring, presenting our item for the marketplace, and just a small counter that countering like a number of items that are gonna be have we are gonna have within the marketplace. And yeah, this is mapping of item IDs to the respective item structures, because we can list anything, to be honest, within the marketplace, and the addresses. So this function works as a listing item for the sale purpose, and of course it has to increment the item counter to assign a new ID to the item when the sale happens. This is where we create a new item and store it within the items when the current item count as the key. And this is where we push like adding a new item to the list owned by the seller. So this is why we come in for the purchase part of the smart contract. We would have loved to write the whole smart contract on the call, but we are on a time constraint. So for now, I'm just gonna explain what we did, and then we'll deploy the smart contract. This is the function to purchase and retrieve items by from the items mapping we have over here. And so this is where we'll ensure that the item hasn't been already sold, and the item actually exists over here. And of course, you cannot buy your own item that you have just listed. So seller cannot buy their own item from over here. And when the item is sold, we are transferring the payment to the seller, and also the ownership the item from the seller to the buyer. This is what we are doing over here, Mr. Center, transferring ownership. And so this is like internal function that we have to handle the ownership of the item. I know this might seem a little bit complex, but bear with me. It's not that complex. But once you go through it and do it yourself, it gets easier. So yeah, let's see. So over here we have the transferring ownership item. Retrieve the item from the items mapping. We are retrieving the item, and this is where we are updating the item to a new owner when the item gets bought. And like this is where we are using this to find or remove the item from the previous owner's list of owned item, because as you saw on the front end, when we show that if the item was bought or like is it there or not, like it will show up on the owned item list if you have the owned items. So this is where I add the items to the new owner's list of owned items. And here we have this function that allows the owner to transfer that item to someone else. And it also ensures that the item exists and the caller is the current owner, because you cannot, like sell item that you don't really own. And this is like transferring the ownership, and the function to retrieve the list of items owned by specific addresses. Yeah, so this is the whole smart contract that we have currently. Let's go over. So in Hardhead, we used to have only deploy script before, but now we have this ignition module that we use to deploy smart contract. So some people say that ignition makes it harder, but it's actually not. With ignition module, we can deploy multiple smart contract as modules, like within the same Hardhead directory. So here we have a simple ignition module that we have built. We have written for the marketplace smart contract. This is just deploying the marketplace contract and return the deploying contract instance. Let's to deploy the smart contract, we'll need the environment variables. We'll need our Infure API key, also the account private key. I'm not gonna show you my private keys because I do wanna keep my private key safe. But anyway, let's go to the terminal. NPX.
You wanna keep your teeth on your
Yeah,
mouth.
yeah, I do. Even if it's a test kit.
Question that some people, I'm always getting asked the same question, like is the how do you, like, what are the submodules in general?
Like the modules for the deploying the smart contract.
Yes.
So inside ignition, we are like, think of the like before we had Hardhead, like we used to just write one deploy script, and we would be like, okay, we're just deploying with this one deploy script. Now for every smart contract, we are creating new modules. So for example, we have this let's say marketplace smart contract, and because for the marketplace we have this marketplace module that we have written. So
Nice.
yeah, so
Nice.
it didn't
Also,
compile because I have to go to inside the blockchain package. So yeah.
question, like, what is the normal best practice that because people are always taking, like, open Zeppelin smart contract templates that are creatable, but what is your suggestion normally? Like,
I think like the Open Zeppelin smart contracts are really good, and they have been audited for a really good time. Like, let's say that you're creating smart contract and writing smart contract for best practices, and you're learning. You can use anything, to be honest. But let's say that you wanna use smart contract and deploy on the mainnet. It's actually the best practice to use Open Zeppelin contract in that case, because they have been audited and they are the most best practice to use that. Also, if you don't have the best of the contract there, you can always modify them
Mhm.
and create your own version. But smart contract security is a thing, and
Yeah,
maybe we can in the future, maybe we can have few sessions over like the security best practices with Foundry.
nice. Yeah, if you think it makes sense, everyone, like feel free to comment here. So we'll kind of like do some dedicated session on that.
Yeah, totally. So we have just compiled our smart contract, and you'll see that when we compiled by npx hardhat compile, we have these two new folders that are coming up, and like built-ins for contract, and like let's see, we'll need this. Like, do you see this ABI? We'll need this for to read and write from our smart contract when we do this on the front end. So now let's go ahead and deploy the smart contract. So I've already put like the command we're gonna use to deploy the. Let me just go ahead and copy this. This is on the README. If you have the starter kit, if you got the starter kit link, you'll have this. Let's use it over here. So this is like getting the npx hardhat ignition and deploy. We are using the ignition deploy modules, and we are using these marketplace tiers modules, and we are deploying on Linea testnet. So let's go ahead and do that. Yes. And we are waiting for the smart contract address. It will come anytime now. Okay, we have this over here. So we will copy this deployed address that you're watching right now, and we will keep this. We will need this to integrate this on our front end. So apart from this, there are like few things that we have done over here. For example, on the hardhat config file, we have used this on the network testnet. We have used this part too, so that it's easier for us to deploy and a little bit modification. And you'll have all of this within the starter kit code. And let me show you something fun. So when we deployed the contract inside the ignition, you'll see like this is the module, our marketplace, yes. But we'll also have these deployments. And this is kind of fun to look at because when you deploy the contract and all these things kind of shows up. Maybe like start deploy the smart contract with hardhat ignition and maybe play around with all of this and see what all of this does. So yeah, I think this is just type chain types, common types. So yeah, do you have any? Is there any questions? Because I think we have already been deployed the smart contract, and now all that needs
Maybe
is to
uh,
get it
for the
implemented on the
on the
product.
deployment, if anybody has any question, feel free to also write in
Mhm.
the content in the chat. But my question was on the deployment side. You use like Infura. How was the process? I mean, it's quite straightforward, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we just have to get the Infura API key, and we have used Infura. But if you wanna use any other API key, that's fine also. And you can always just customize the hardhat config file. Hang on, let me just pull it down. Yeah, so you can always use the hardhat config file, and just make a few adjustments. I think that's only it, basically.
Nice.
So yeah, awesome. I think I'm just gonna hand over to Ale with the newly deployed the smart contract and the ABIs. So let's go ahead.
Great. Uh, did you send me the smart contract and the ABS?
Hang on, give me a second. Let me send you the smart contract ABI and the.
Okay, basically what we are going to do right now is to start building the UI, like the one you saw from the final version of the application. Basically, what we are going to do is to list the items, read the items that we have on the smart contract, purchase an item, and basically that in general. So let's start giving it a look.
Yeah.
Okay, I saw the ABI and the smart contract. Awesome. So yeah, basically this is our application. Let's give it a quick look to what we have right here. I'm going to run pm
Maybe
dev just to
maybe Aran,
let you know what.
do we want to zoom a little bit? That
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit,
Yeah.
a little
Yeah.
bit more.
maybe more. Cool.
Yes,
Is it better?
yes, it's better. Maybe one more so that you see people, all
One
people
more.
see.
This will be
There
good.
you are. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good. It's good.
Yeah. It's
Maybe
perfect.
awesome. Nice.
Okay, great. So let's give this a look just to see what we have right here. Basically, this is our base application, which contains like just these input file, input components, and the items that we do not have any by the time, but we will be able to connect. We have a connect wallet button, which is the one that will let us connect to our wallet. This already comes with the CLI. So if you um, create a new project using the CLI, you already will have this connect wallet button that we have right here. So yeah, let's terminate this, let's clear this, and let's start working on this. What we need to do first is to update our constants. In right here, we have the contract address, which is the contract address that Sushmita just deployed, and we need to update the ABI. So let's give this a look. Copy the ABI right here. And boom. Cool. So we already have our constants
Quick
right here.
question.
Yep.
Over here, I have like a quick small question. Like when we compile the contract, we get a ABI, and when we also deploy the contract with the deployment, we also get the ABI. Which one are we actually using for this?
Actually, when you deploy your contract, you'll get an ABI. That's the same if you already compiled the ABI. What often Hard Hat does is that if you haven't compiled your contract, when you run the deploy uh, command, you'll compile your contract and get an ABI. So probably both will work well in this case. So yeah.
Yeah, I think like it's most of the time like when you compile that one, because when you deploy, like it gives you like a module based ABI. So that's like
Okay.
yeah, different one.
Okay, cool. So now let's come right here to our page.tsx where this is the place where we are going to be working. Let me just first let's divide this into steps. First, we want to list an item, which is because to render them first we need to have some. So let's start listing our items. In this case, we're going to be using VM and WAGMI. So basically what I am going to do is to import the client from the WAGMI providers that we have right here. This is also coming with the CLI. You already will you will have this set it up. So this way we can start interacting with Portuguese. We for the client, and right here we're going to create some sets. So let me
I think
just Yep.
I think before we go ahead, let me like clarify a few of the concepts. So we're gonna do like few things over this page.tsx. We're gonna load the items, we're gonna load owned items, and we're gonna list items, and we're gonna use the purchase items part. So when we load items and like load the owned items by like the wallets, those are like we are reading from the smart contract. And when we are gonna list an item and we're gonna purchase an item, that is like writing within the smart contract. So that's what like the concept we're gonna use during the React hooks when we do that. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yes, we're going to be reading the contract and then writing to the contract. So let's start with, uh, so we're going to create an assign function. So right here, we're going to add a try catch just to just add the catch right here. So right here, what we're going to do is to get the request, and we're going to simulate the contract. Simulate contract. And right here, what we're going to need, if you see, we need the ABI. So import the ABI that we just
We need to import it from the constants. Yeah.
okay. This alias probably not working. But it is enough, I guess. Where is it? Yeah, SRC. It's outside. SRC. So here it is. So also we'll need the address of the contract. So we'll also import it from here. Yeah, we have it back here. We'll need the function name that we're going to be calling, which is list item for sure. And we'll need some arguments in this case, which is going to be the item name and the price that we're going to be, I don't want this, that we're going to be adding to our uh, item. In this case, I know that we have to add the price because I already did it, but basically what you have to do is to check the ABI or the smart contract and check for the arguments that the function needs. In this case, if you see list item receives a string and a uint, which is the price that we're going to set for this item that we're going to create. First, also, other thing that I want to do is to know if the user has connected their wallet, because if they are not connected, probably we don't want to send the transaction. So let's do this. I am going to, before this, I'm going to import like use account from WACME, and right here we have the address. So basically, if we do not have the address of the user, we are going to return right here. What else? What else? What else? Let me, okay. Right here, let me just wait for the wallet. Wait a second. Let me just also import like the use wallet client right here. And here I have the wallet client, right? And we have data, and we're going to call it wallet client. So basically, this is to be able to interact with the smart contract. I don't think this is needed. So let me just make sure that this is okay. We're going to review it anyway. So yeah. So right here, this is the function that will list the item. Let's just try it. Right here, we have the button and the inputs, but let's create a user state to get the input uh, values. So yeah, yep, and let me import user state, and let me create a use effect that I wanna. Let me import use effect right here. If you have some questions or something, just let me know. I am just going through. So yeah. I won't do this by now, but we'll have it at hand. So let me just have, yep, and on change, and let me do the same for this. Right here, basically what we are doing is getting the input, setting the value to the value that we have right here, which is item name. And yeah, we're using like the event handler that we have right here. So they target that value. So right now, probably we
Yeah,
can.
so I think like when we wanna list an item, we need two things from the like a user is that one is the item name and the like item price. So these are the two things there's alias using to list the item.
Exactly. So now that we already have created like the state variables to handle the item name and the item price, then now we can add it right here. Basically, here we're sending probably a number, but the function receives a uint, if I am not wrong. Yeah. So basically, what we can do, WACME has a function which is parsed, I think uint, or let me, yeah, wait a second. Yes, parse uint. So in this case, we can just do this. And this is the number of decimals that we want to add. In this case, we are going to add 18, could be. So, yep, this should be already done. Let's see if we did not break something. So let's give it a look. Okay, this is the moment of the truth. First, let's connect our wallet because if not, we're
Got
not
some
going to be.
sounds, like
We're
tambourine
not.
sounds or something.
Sorry?
No, we should have some sound like tambour or something of deployment.
Yeah. Okay, first, the wallet is not connecting. I don't know why. Okay, there it is. Great. So let's say live and let's say list item. It's working. It's working. The transaction, we have sent the transaction. Let's confirm and let's wait for the transaction. Right now, we're not handling anything in here, so we do not have any message, but we can see it right here on our MetaMask wallet. Are you looking at my MetaMask wallet?
You're
Yes.
rich on Linea Sepulveda.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Please
I
send us
told you
some.
this is not Linea either. Okay, I am not that rich. Okay, we have confirmed our transaction. So great. So now that we have list an item, probably we want to do what we want to do is to show that item on our uh, on our application. So yeah, let's create a function that's going to be called get items, and this is going to be an assignment function, blah, blah, blah. And right here, yeah, we do not want to have like the check of the wallet, because we want to get the items even though the user is connected, I mean has his wallet connected or their wallet connected or not. So yeah, let's create a try catch right here. This will be helping a lot, just because if something goes wrong, we can uh, see it actually. So yeah, first we're going to get an item count, because on our smart contract we have a variable that tell us this, so we can iterate over this. But I have another way to do this. Let me just see this. But yeah, let's give it a look to the item count. So let's wait for this client. So basically what we're going to do here is the same right here. We were simulating the contract right here. We are going just to read it because we want to get the information. So yeah, we need the ABI. We need the function name, which is going to be item count, if I am not wrong. Yes. We need the contract address, and basically that's it to get the item count. For now, let's just see if this returns something, because we just console log the item count. So let's get items right here in our use effect, and let's reload our site. Okay, we have an error.
That's usual.
Yeah. Okay, but this error is because here it is. Here it is. We have our
What is
our
written?
item.
I cannot read it.
Let me. Okay, how can I increase this?
And the console, yeah, is strange. I
Yeah,
cannot.
it's because it is a begin. So if it's a begin, it is one end. I swear, there it is. But I cannot make the console bigger for some reason. Now it's smaller, even smaller. So this is a problem. But wait a second, there it is. The error that we're looking at is because we're using Next.js client components, and we have the basic hydration error that we always have here. So every time I reload, if the content from the page is different from the one we render on the server, we're going to have that error. But right here, I mean, it's super small. I want to zoom in, but I cannot.
I think the Next.js hydration error is a thing, and you'll like have it quite a lot when you're working with Next.js client component or
Yeah.
SSR.
Wait a second. Now how can I make this bigger? This is super small even for me. Okay. Let me just. Okay, it's getting bigger. Great. Now let me again.
It's so tricky. The console is
Yeah.
independent to the.
Yeah. Okay, but this is okay. Cool. Now it's big. Great. So yeah, we have our. Let me just disconnect right here. You see, we have this. This is because it is a begin, but probably what I wanna do is to do this like number, and now this will be, or item count will be 1, because we have only one item on our smart contract. So yeah, right now, basically, the next step is going to be uh, loading the items that we already have. So get items. So item count works. Let's come right here. Right here, we are going to create a for loop, and we're going to set. I am thinking on better ways to do this because, but let's do it this way. It works this way. We can improve it later. So yeah, let's create a user state. We do not have. Let me just leave it as any. Don't do this at home, please, because yeah, create your types. Or probably let's see if Cursor help me with the types. Uh, item. Let me just.
And
Okay.
if you guys are listening, we are just literally live coding a simple marketplace deployed on Linea. And this is the second live code session that we're doing. Like the goal is really like to build something deployed on Linea and leveraging all the tech stack, right? And if you have any question, feel free to also like ask in the comments. Right now we're finishing and testing the UI with Alejandro, and yeah, so feel free to ask any questions. We're just trying to also go much slower than last time. So it's if you also like following the tutorial that Sushmita also like published in Miro, let us know.
Great. So yeah, we are going to create a for loop where we're going to iterate over the item count. So right here, we are going to read from the contract. We are going to get the item. Basically, this is what we did in the past. Uh, we are reading the contract. We are adding the ABI. We are calling the items function name. Let's just verify that that function exists on our smart contract. We have right here item. It's the mapping that Sushmita created for us. Right here, we are going to have a like this unit with the item inside. So yeah, I think this will work. So yeah, we are going to update of our. We're going to update our user state. Wait a second, we're updating item. Set items argument. Okay, let's just great. This way, basically, what we are doing is telling that this is an item that we know it's going to be an item in this case to avoid that TypeScript error. So yes, I think let me just verify. Um, let's see if this works. And right here, basically, let's console log the item. And there it is. Yeah, it works. We have the item, we have the live, we have the price. This is me, the owner. And yeah, this is my wallet address. So yeah, it
Ev-
works.
yeah, everything works. Now all we need to show the same thing within the front end rather than the console. That's what we're gonna do.
Exactly. Instead of console logging the values, we're going right now that we have the items, we want to show them. So right here with the boilerplate that Sushmita did, we have wait a second, we have a component which is, it is not right here, it is right here, I guess, card, right? Let me just check where it is. So we have,
The components are from Shatsi and UI,
yeah,
so you can import them like this.
yeah. So yeah, basically what we're doing, we are using Shatcn uh, to create our components. So in this case, we have Okay, we have already imported the card. Basically, I'm going to remove this and the card content right here. Um, I am going to avoid getting too long. I will just copy the code that I have right here to show. I will explain it for sure, but uh, I will I will do it this way right here. Available items. This is what we want. I'm going to copy this right here. Basically, this is we cannot purchase the item yet because we haven't created that function, but I'm going to delete that one just to make sure that we have right here. Basically, we have the items array, which is our state variable. Probably we want to make sure that we have items. Let's do something like this. Like items, let's say no items to show, and else we can do this. So this way, if we do not have items, we're not going to try to iterate them. So yeah, so let's give it a look to this. Wait a second. There it is. It's not broken. Okay, it is broken.
It's very broken.
Undefined.
What is the root? Root undefined. Okay.
The owner. Because, wait a second.
We can definitely fix that.
Result. Yeah. I will remove this by now because we're not going to be purchased. We'll add it soon.
Maybe actually we should also do quizzes. You know, find the error and debug live. That would be cool.
Yeah.
If you guys want to do that, comment in the chat. I think that would be a cool quiz for a new live code session.
Yeah, I remember right here instead of doing
Me
this.
and Ale, we kind of do that all the time. Like we would kind of go and debug some applications or we have worked on, and it's always errors like this TypeScript or something hydration error, just always.
Yeah. Basically, right here, the way we're setting the number, I mean the items, we did it this way because this way we will be able to access it by name, price, owner, and all that. We already know that this is the ID, this is the name, and all that because it's coming from the contract that we built. So probably there are better ways to do this, but yeah, this will work. So where is the error? All right, this is not from here. Probably we wanna import it from VM. Yeah. Okay, so the price, it's because of this. This is not a number. This is probably what are we doing right here? Divides the number by 10. So does this return a number? We can fix this with any for sure. We will give it a look later. So yeah, let's reload the site. And right here, we have the item that we have created. We have the name live, we have the price, and we have the owner, which is me. This is my wallet address. So yeah, basically the next step is to purchase the item, right, Sushmita? I think.
Yeah.
Nice.
So the next step is we have listed the items, we are loading all the items, owned items, and the last and final step is to have the purchase item part, where we can purchase each other's items.
Yes.
Nice. Right now, though, you cannot purchase your own item, right? I mean, that's logic.
Yeah.
We can obviously purchase other people's items.
Yeah, we have to switch the wallet or something to see that
We'll
pop up.
find it. Yes.
Okay, yeah, I think I have Sefolia and other wallets. So let's see. Yeah, let's purchase item. Let's just I will
Question. That
yep.
for like general like kind of tooling that you guys are using in your daily coding life, are you like starting to use like Copilot or something like that? Like what are your
So
recommendations for like
so we
efficiency?
have so we have been using Cursor instead of VS Code, and Cursor already has this auto completion, and we also have Copilot. But all of these that you're saying is mostly Cursor suggested.
Well, basically, I stopped paying Copilot when I started using Cursor.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
Cursor is works well. Sometimes can be tricky.
Yeah,
You probably want to be careful with its suggest, but for regular or normal tasks like this, it works pretty well.
nice.
yeah. And like if you want to chat with the AI on the side, you can just do that Command L, I think.
Yeah.
That's very cool. Okay. And
So
and plugins wise for like I don't know, Visual Studio or something. I mean, I'm using the Solidity one, but any other kind of like plugins that you guys are using?
Um, I think we are using a lot of plugins. I think like one of the most few others that mostly stand out for me is like um, auto rename. There's like
Yep.
also one with Console Ninja.
Mhm.
Then there's few others like let's see. Is there's one called Indent Rainbow, like
Mhm.
which just indents all of this, and you can see which brackets closes where.
Oh, that's
And there's
actually
of
good.
course, yeah, there's also live share because we pair program all the time and like debug many things.
Nice.
So yeah, yeah, and of course pre-tier and few other things that are just mandatory. So yeah.
Nice. Thanks. What are you doing now, Leandro? Oh, you're okay.
basically, yeah, we are going to be able to purchase. Right here, we want to get the account, which is going to be the address. This address is going to be my address. Uh, and we need to send the value, which is going to be the price of the, uh, yeah, of the item that we're doing. Basically, what I am thinking right here is that, we're formatting the price in this case. So, yeah, basically, this will purchase the item. I am going to run again like the get items function, so that way when we purchase and we have this function completed, we're going to get and see the new ones. This could be done better, but right here we do not have the get own items. So let's do this first. Um, I am not going to be able to purchase an item now that I see. We have several, but because I've been reloading the site, we have just one right here. Um, yeah, let's just set up right here, like the purchase button. Let me just make sure.
What about changing the test account or like Flask? You're also on Flask, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's considering another account. And for anybody that doesn't know, Flask is basically the current version of MetaMask, and there is also like some extra like developer features. So especially on the Snaps development side. So feel free also to check this out.
Yeah, I have Flask disabled, I guess, but
Yes, that's actually good feedback, Alejandro. Always when you guys are doing Flask or like main MetaMask, always like disable one and the other. If not, they are like always like creating like problem on the deployment side.
yep.
So the reason why we're doing this is because we cannot purchase the same item if you are the owner. So basically, we're like just trying to find a way to change the account.
Okay, I have it on my Flask. So let me try something. I disable MetaMask and I
We need some
enable
testnet
Flask.
Linea on Flask.
Let me
I can
check
send them over.
because I think I have set the risks. Okay, I still have a Flask wallet. Okay, forget it by now. Sushmita, if you can send me um, some Linea to the wallet I am going to send you, or I can send it myself actually.
Yes, I can just send it. Just post the address.
Yeah. Wait a second. I'm can manage extension. I'm going to disable Flask. I'm going to enable MetaMask.
Sometimes I kind of find Flask a little bit buggy rather than the main MetaMask. So I kind of prefer using the MetaMask one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wait a second.
If you click send, yeah, now pick your second account.
Mira.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, now just continue.
But wait a second. Did I add the
Send.
send second account? And did I select the amount of it?
Mm,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
One.
Okay. Confirm. There you go.
Yeah.
But next time when you do that, feel free to take our ETH because you can have more ETH in that way
Yes.
rather than
That's a
sending
good.
yourself.
Wait a second. It's confirmed. Great. So now I have one Linea ETH right here. So let's try first. Let me connect my wallet because if I am not connected, this is not going to work. So now let's just inspect this just to give it a deeper look if something happens. Okay, we send the transactions and confirm. Let's just wait a second for the transaction to be. We have our re-render, so that's why we now see two. That's React stuff. We can probably improve that later. Okay,
Confirmed.
I have confirmed. So let's reload this. Okay, the disconnect. Well, okay. So now if you see, the owner is my new wallet. Is the wallet address that we have right here, which is my second account. Previous was this one. So it is actually working. Let's create a function that that allows us to load or owned items. So yep, basically this will be the. I don't know if we are running out of time or
We
something.
are we are kind of running out of time. Do you wanna just show them like how that is by pasting it here,
Okay,
maybe?
basically I'm going to take the code that we have right here,
I just want to say
which
that I
is
find it super
actually
useful.
pretty.
No, I find it everything so
Uh,
useful right now that we're just live coding and kind of like live debugging.
yeah,
Yeah.
in this
Oh,
case,
yesterday I was telling Ali that like we're gonna think of this as pair programming session in a way.
Yeah, he's
yeah.
also very efficient.
So yeah, basically what we're going what we're doing right here is the same that we did to load the items, but in this case, what we are doing is filtering by the owner. So we have this function that read the contracts and returns it like the owned IDs, and we are using a for loop that will get us the items from the owner. So we have right here the item IDs. We're passing, like in this function, we're passing the address that's connect. So yeah, this way we're going to be able to see the owned items. Right now we need to add the component which is this one right here. I am going to copy this code to not make it longer. This one right here, we're going to update it. So yeah, I am going to save this. I hope we did not break anything when you paste a lot. You can probably break stuff.
It's okay. That is part of the process.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, in this case, we're not looking at the owned items. Let me just, okay, in this case, let me just do the same. Own, let me own it. Yeah, this is cool. Cool. Let me do the same right here. No. Which wallet am I at? Let me change to this and let me reload. Okay.
You should also connect your wallet. It wasn't connected.
That's probably yes, because we're not sending the address. That's true.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true. So right here, yeah. Now I need to change.
Yeah, change your wallet to second one and see if this shows
Yeah,
up.
it was that for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you just connect the wallet first and connected the second one?
Let me just check right here. Connect. And let me do something right here. If address, let me they want me to add this or whatever. Load. I'll address because I think, okay, we do not have, we are going to come right here. And okay, perfect. Yes, we have it right here. We do not have our wallet connected, but when we connect our wallet, we're going to load the owned items right here. We're seeing this twice because I'm just using this use effect to load the items, but basically we have these owned items. Now, if I come to my other account, which address has changed, let me just do this again. Probably we're going to see this empty. Let me reload. Yep. So yes, basically this is the marketplace that we have created. Basically Sushmita did. I just help her with some of this stuff. But yeah, you can purchase an item, you can list an item, you can see your own items. Of course, the React application could be improved a lot, but this is a really good start to start a listing item on the blockchain using Linea, which is actually pretty cheap. And this is all started using the CLI. So yeah, you should give it a look too. And yeah, I think this is all clear. All done. Do you have any questions? I haven't seen the chat in a while. Let me just.
Yeah. Also, like we already have like a whole tutorial on this on Mirror, and like a whole code base, like marketplace already done, like a month ago already. But we thought, okay, maybe it's time to do it on live coding session and show everyone like how it's done and how it goes.
Right.
So here we are.
Yeah, we have. Let me quickly share. We have this one here. Let me check here. We have this one here. It's quite actually interesting. So we're going through like specific like setups and the kind of the end. And I think also this one that you're referring a lot, Sushmita and Alejandro, is basically like the getting started here when you want to deploy your first smart contract. And you just follow a link here. So we can just send those links also as kind of like after this one here. Oh, I was not sharing it. There you are. So basically, is when you're getting started on the docs, you have your deploy a smart contract, and you actually can choose specifically. And now we went to the hard hat one. And also, I think, I don't know if we have it already, but the CLI right now is obviously like on NPM, but I think we were starting adding in both Linea and MetaMask docs, right?
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
Nice. Okay, I think super exciting. A lot of people watching, so thanks so much everybody that stayed engaged, commented, and I think it's not easy. It's definitely giving a lot of pressure. It's not just a linear MetaMask community call, and I think we should definitely do this more. Maybe the quiz, kind of like smart contract quiz will actually be cool to see if people are actually like finding the errors.
Maybe we should do more debugging session together.
Oh yes, sounds good. Yeah, sounds good. Any closing words? Like how do we want to kind of like build like what features like will be kind of like low hanging fruit on building on the marketplace, Sushmita? Like what will be your recommendation if people want to build future marketplaces?
Well, this is like just a start, and this is just list any items, and maybe one of the really fun feature you could probably build is maybe how you can auction an item when it's listed, because now you're just going ahead and purchasing that. Imagine doing an auction item, and that is really common in Web3, and we have seen during the early days with NFTs, and people just do that, and community really loves that. Maybe this is one of the feature you could explore, and maybe you could also like use certain filters with different items, and have them separated in categories and all that. There's a lot of things you could do from a simple starting point, and like you could go way beyond and within the creativity zone. So yeah.
Nice. And general recommendation for people listening that want to start like their kind of like Web3 journey is, what they should learn. Like, obviously like this kind of like Solidity 101s, React for the front end. And we see also a comment here, like it was asking in Portuguese, like, we build the front end with the UI part, Alejandro, on React. So that's definitely a good things to learn. What else? What are your suggestions?
Basically start building. That's the first one if you want to start learning. So yeah, basically a really useful tool that I've been using a lot is of course AI. So you can start, let's say that you don't have anything, you do not know anything about smart contracts and Solidity. Basically what you can do is to take this smart contract, what we have right here, which is pretty simple, and ask ChatGPT to explain it to you. So that way you can start learning lane by lane what it does, why it is written like that. So yeah, basically start building. Of course, WalkMe hooks are pretty helpful. Start learning how you can interact with the blockchain from the front end. That's actually really, really helpful in this case, because basically one of the main problems of the industry is that the UX is not so good. So we have to, it has been improved a lot with time, but there is still a lot to do. So yeah, how to interact with the blockchain from the front end, and of course learn some Solidity or stuff like that.
I think like to add to what Alejandro said is I agree with all of it. I think like for me, when I want to give a newcomer an advice, I would just say just first learn how the blockchain works and deploy your first contract with using Remix, because you don't need to set up all of this tool, and first just deploy it and see how it works with MetaMask and how you can do it. And when you can do it, maybe start with the simplest framework that you can find. I know we are talking about React, Next.js, and all that. If you want to do it with JavaScript, go ahead. I mean, whatever makes things easier. And ChatGPT and most of the AI tools has free tier, and it's quite free. So if you get started, just deploy a smart contract, see how it interacts on the front end, and how you can show like specific things, and then explore like more in depth, like maybe ERC20, ERC21, and few others. So yeah, and if you have like certain ideas of workshops or tutorials or like live coding session that you wanna see, just comment or like tweet us. We'd love to explore on those ideas.
Yeah, that's a good. Also, one of my recommendations is always check out like beginner tutorials. I think pairing like this live code session is just an example, right? Now the next step should be check out the walkthrough, your blog post, and trying to kind of represent it and use it. And if you have problems, you can reach out, ask GPTs and everything. But I think following tutorials and kind of guides from also other people, there is a lot of those. And also the other recommendation is, go to hackathons and try to really in 24 hours, 48 hours, you're able really to learn much more in a 6-month range because you're exchanging a lot of opinions, and you're learning also with other team members. It's a great way also to push yourself on doing kind of let's say hyperbolic learning on that. Awesome. And excited.
Yeah.
We were literally 10-15 minutes late, but I think it's super worth it doing this.
I think I want to add a little bit to learn more is that try to build in public. If you do something on the top of this marketplace, feel free to mention us if you need feedback, and we would love to give them on Twitter. So we are quite open to that. So yeah.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I even saw people that are live streaming themselves during the hackathons. That was actually super cool to see that.
Great.
48 hours live stream. Very, very not an heavy file. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. So, and I think, I don't know what plans we have for the next live code session, but I mean, new use case, new walkthrough, even leveraging the CLI or extending features, and we'll be mixing up more beginners versus kind of intermediate tutorials. And yeah, looking forward for also I think on the MetaMask maybe SDK, we can do something if people were asking, maybe a simple game or something. Really comment on either the live stream or just shoot us a DM. We're always open to hear more feedback and use case. Awesome. So, and thanks so much again, Sushmita and Alejandro for running to this. I think it's definitely getting more courage to do something like a live code session. It's great that we started doing that.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'm super excited to be here. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, thanks everyone, and I see you guys next month. And also remember, we have the Linea and MetaMask community call happening at the end of the month. So make sure also you tune in to hear some of the product updates, but also ecosystem updates. A lot of hackathon winners will present their what they build and how they won. So it's also a good way to show and see what other kind of builders in the community are shipping.